Welcome to No BS Game Guides. In this video, I will try to show you everything there is to know to start playing Naraka Bladepoint without any confusion. Starting with your inventory. Your consumable items will be placed on the top right corner of your screen. The game contains one regen item, one shield regen item, one grapple consumable, and one repair item. If you loot an upgraded health regen or shield item, it will replace the basic one that you have looted before. Those four are all in all the consumables you will find around the world when you are looting. Next, we have Soul Jade space. Soul Jades are passive abilities that you loot from the map. There are simple stat Soul Jade that will give you health, damage or defense, but there are also rare Soul Jades that will alter and buff specific weapon movesets. We will talk more about this later. Lastly, there is an inventory space for weapons. Apart from the two weapons that you can equip, you can have more weapons in your inventory. These weapons exist not only because you might want to carry a bow in case you need it for a ranged combat, but also because there is a major game mechanic where the enemy can drop the weapon you are currently using. We will talk more about this later as well. When you are looting or killing enemies, you will gain gold that you can spend on shops around the map. First things you want to buy from these NPCs are 3 items that will expand your inventory. In reality, the only inventory space that will make you stronger is the Soul Jade space because it will allow you to carry more passive stats. Let me say that these inventory upgrade items also drop from loot around the world, but they will be activated automatically when you pick them up. Lastly, there is an option under the assist category that will limit how many consumables you can loot from the ground. Combine this option with the auto pickup setting and you will be able to just spam your loot hotkey without worrying about overstacking items. You can override this setting if you manually loot an item from the inventory UI. Since you are probably a new player, my recommendation is to have 1 slot for health regen, 3 slots for shields, 3 slots for grappling hooks, and 2 slots for repairs. And with that, you know everything there is to know about loot. Let's now move to combat. Naraka is a game with a very high skill cap that can take you lots and lots of hours to master. In this video, we will start with the basic understanding of the game mechanics. Once you learn the basics, you can watch a more in-depth video about advanced combos and other related topics. All weapons have rarities. Higher the rarity, the stronger the weapon and the more durability it has. Hitting enemies or shooting with ranged weapons consumes weapon durability. You have to restore it with a repair item. The actions that you can perform with every weapon include horizontal attack, vertical attacks, charge attacks, dodge attacks, attacks from below, and parry. The concept is to combine all these attacks in different order to confuse their opponent in any way you like. The most critical thing that you have to know is that there are 2 types of attacks. Attacks that will glow blue and normal attacks. Attacks that will glow blue are parryable, which means if your opponent parries at the moment your character sparks a blue shiny light, you will be stunned, your weapon will drop on the ground, and they will riposte you for tons of damage. Normal attacks, on the other hand, are not parryable. However, if both you and your opponent use attack at the same time, both of you will be pushed back and take some damage. Usually, every third attack of a normal combo will be a blue glow attack, so be careful using your 1-2-3 combos because enemies can anticipate and punish you for it. Other blue attacks are the charged attacks. If you hold either one of your attacks, it will become charged. One strategy to confuse your opponent and bait them into parrying is to charge an attack and then cancel it by dodging, jumping or parrying, and then you can punish them with another combo while they are recovering after their failed parry attempt. Every weapon has its own unique kit of attacks that you can explore. I suggest finding this in the in-game tutorial menu by pressing F5 while in free practice and navigating to the weapon guide category. In addition to the default moves that every weapon always have, you can find golden and purple soul jades that alter the moveset of specific weapons. This is why it is beneficial to learn how to play with every weapon in the game, as there is no guaranteed tier list to follow in every match. If you are lucky enough to find a golden weapon with its golden soul jades, it can be stronger than a higher tier blue weapon. These passive alterations are not only powerful but also visually impressive, so I suggest you trying them out in the free practice mode as well. Another type of attack that is a little bit tricky to execute is the dodging attack. To execute this move, you have to hold the dodge button along with the direction move, and while holding dodge, use another attack. I emphasize this because if you just tap dodge, it will not work. You can also use attacks while you are mid-air. Additionally, you can grab onto a wall and use an attack. Furthermore, you can use grappling hook on your opponent to lock into them. You can also use crouch with a vertical attack to knock up your opponent. Highly suggest you to complete the in-game specialized combat tutorial that you can find in the free practice. Apart from the nice rewards it will give you, it guides you very well into the basic game mechanics. There are many more tips about combat since your options are extremely vast, but I would like to keep this video as an introduction to Naraka, and I won't mention more advanced combos. Here are a few examples though of how an elite player's fighting skills will look like. The last fundamental thing that you have to know is the movement actions that exist. Starting with the bread and butter of movement, cancel a charge attack by holding dodge. The point of this move is to make a quick dash forward while running. To do this, simply charge an attack and then hold dodge with a direction. Tip to execute this move is that you don't have to take your finger off the charge attack button, just press and hold the attack button, and while holding the attack button, press and hold dodge button and release the attack button after the dodge animation. Next, you should know that you can use jump between grappling hooks, and you can also use a horizontal attack for a small extra dash as well. At this point, I also suggest you to go to settings under the gameplay tab and select grappling hook aim assist on, grappling aim auto, grappling aim auto aim, and uncoupling grappling to auto. You can grab onto any wall by holding or tapping jump depending on the settings under the gameplay category, and then you can use horizontal attack for a huge dash. And to finish this video, I will now mention a few character tips and recommendations and leave the rest to you in the free practice. Every character has one normal ability and one ultimate ability. The most important thing that you should know is that some skills can be used while you are stun locked. As I've said, there are certain combos that if your opponent knows how to execute them, he can one-shot you before you can even act. These abilities give you the opportunity to break through these combos, or save you from a riposte attack after being parried. Other than that, every character has their own unique kit, some are focused on team play, and some others are better for solo play. Some personal recommendations about which hero you should try first: Tessa, Tianhai, Feria Shen, Wei, and Viper or Zipping Yin if you are playing with a team. I suggest these heroes because they all have good defensive kits that can help you survive in tough situations. Tessa has a get out of jail card as her basic ability that knocks down all the enemies around her, and her ultimate summons a soul vessel that stun enemies if they don't interact with it. It's both good for solo and team play. Tianhai is a very good option mainly because of his strong defensive capabilities. His basic ability resets the fight, as I mentioned before, and his ultimate ability restores him to max health and transforms him into a Varja that is very strong in many situations. Feria Shen also has a combo breaker ability, and her ultimate summons a mech robot that she will pilot to escape or do damage. Wei can knock back enemies as her ability, and her ultimate grants her 3 stack shields that block every attack thrown at her. She can be considered an ultimate defensive character. Lastly, I chose Viper as a very good choice for teams, mainly because her ultimate stuns targets within a range for a very long duration. However, Viper cannot attack while summoning the orb, making her a safer pick for teams than for solo play. Her normal ability also knocks back enemies and allows you to escape from unavoidable combos. If you are a support-oriented player and you like to play with friends, you might consider maining Zipping In, as she is a very good support healer. And that pretty much covers everything a new player should know to start playing Naraka without questions. If you like this kind of content, leave a like and subscribe, share your opinions in the comment section, and see you on the next video.